It is I, Samson Wagner, here, coming to you from the mountain reaches of El. You know, I spend my time up there. You know, I gotta stay close with the gods, the black kings of old. But anyway, let me introduce you to this. I guess we'll call it a podcast. I don't really care. Whatever you want to fucking make it. How about that? But in this podcast, I'm gonna be talking about all types of things because I don't want to just be pinned down to one subject. So if I feel like talking about some Star Wars, which we are going to be talking about today, I'm going to talk about it. If I feel like talking about the Green Bay Packers, the greatest NFL franchise of all fucking time, we're going to talk about them. Okay? If I feel like talking about the man, the myth, the legend that is O.J. Simpson, we're going to talk about him. Because O.J. wins on every goddamn level. I don't fucking get that shit. Like, how you get out of jail and get money and have the best documentary out? Man, I don't get that shit. So we're going to talk about that in the future. I got some already recorded podcasts, but the thing is, they're out. The information is still sound, but some of the examples I might use may have been going on with stuff that was at that time period that was going on. But I'm still gonna upload. I'll just put like outdated or something. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Now, if anybody know Wagner, they know I love me some motherfucking Star Wars. I love Star Wars. I just love, the space, the lightsabers, Jedi, Sith, dark side, light side, it's all dope to me. I don't care. I'll be watching some Star Wars till I die. I mean, I'm gonna be in my coffin and be like, Leo, let me get Return of the Jedi in before I go. But anyway, one of my favorite characters that came to Star Wars is actually came as a prequel. A lot of people hating on the prequels, but I thought they were dope. Okay, yeah, the acting was a little shitty. I'm not gonna lie, Anakin. I'm not gonna 100% blame it on you, man, because I know George Lucas was writing that shit, and that shit came out terrible. But I mean, Obi-Wan delivered. The guy who played Ewan McGregor, he delivered. I mean, why couldn't you? But anyway, one of my favorite characters is Mace Windu, played by Samuel Jackson. Yeah, it's cool because he's black. And, it's nice to have a character in one of your favorite franchises that's black. I mean, they had Lando Calrissian, but he wasn't as cool as Mace Windu. I mean, he was cool, even though they made him, lie on my nigga Han. But he made up for it in the end. They made up for it in the end because George Lucas know he effed that up. He was like, I put a black dude in here. I got to make him do this shit. Anyway, but the reason I love Mace Windu it's not because he's a black Jedi. It's not even that reason. It's his skill set of what I love. His lightsaber is purple, which is red. If I'm not mistaken, it was red and blue mixed together. It makes purple. I hope I got that right. I'm gonna sound like a dumbass, but whatever. It should be make purple. And his fighting style is called Vapad. And why I love that style is because when he's fighting you, if he's fighting a dark side user, he uses their anger, their hate, their pain against them. He's able to tap in to the dark side to defeat his enemy. Same thing with the light. If he fighting, I mean, chances are he's not gonna be fighting a light side user, but if he was, he would tap into that light side or your abilities, or he would tap into your dark side. It's whatever he felt like. He would find your weakness and he taps into that. And I think, honestly, personally, I think that's the main reason the Jedi may have fucked up. Because Anakin said some shit about it, Luke said some shit about it, and in The Last Jedi, Yoda said some shit. Yoda admitted they fucked up because he blew up the tree when he was a Force ghost. Because I feel like the Jedi or the Sith, to hell, we could say the Sith fucked up too, didn't realize that the world is about duality, the balance of two sides. This is not even Star Wars thing. This is a life thing. One person can't be too light, or you become unbalanced, and one person can't be too dark, or you could just lose yourself. You gotta find that middle ground, that balance, that yin and yang. You gotta bring them two together. because I'm not saying you won't make it, but life will be a lot easier when you control both sides. And that's why I love Mace Windu, because he was able to use both sides. And honestly, that's why he was probably one of the most powerful Jedis in the Star Wars universe. Because you remember when he went up against Palpatine? Ooh, that scene was so cold, man. I was like, what? Anakin had to ruin it. He had to ruin it. Man, my man Mace Windu had Emperor Palpatine right there. He was like, you are under arrest. Then Anakin came in and messed it all up. But it just proved... And Emperor Palpatine is a strong Force user. I mean, he's strong. Especially if you into the comic books. And I just read... I can't remember the name. Oh, I read I didn't read it. It was an audio book, let's be 100. But it was Lords of the Sith. Yo. Yeah. If any of y'all at a bookstore or on Google Play, at the App Store, look up Lords of the Sith. Or actually, you can find the full audiobook on YouTube. Like, look that audiobook up. Fire. Start to finish. Like, and I like the audiobook because the way that they did it, they had like sound effects, the voiceovers were awesome. So, check that book out. It's dope. But yeah, just back to Mace Windu, that fighting, and I feel like with Mace Windu, I feel like that's what, I'm hoping that's what The Last Jedi and, you know, Force Awakens and hopefully Episode 9 is about. It's about the balance between the light and the dark. And I feel like hopefully Rey becomes a great Jedi, because that's basically what great Jedi were. I don't know, I'm pretty sure they existed why Mace Windu was there, but Mace Windu was kind of the one that was almost 100% great Jedi. I mean, he wasn't there yet because he was still, you know, operating under the Jedi Code. But man, just the fact that he was able to tap into your weakness, and just like your weakness and your dark side, and use it against you. I mean, come on, man. That's crazy, because when you in life, sometimes you can't be too positive, or you could miss something because you were just being too happy. I was like, or you could be too negative, and you could miss out on all the positives because you're always worrying about the negative. You got to find the balance between the two and be able to use both sides to your advantage. And that's why Mace Windu was so dope. I'm like, but now this is the one. Okay, he fucked up though. Now I'm not 100% with Mace's philosophies. He messed up, man. I feel like he was part of the reason why Anakin turned to the dark side. Because he was just hating on my man Anakin the whole time. I mean, my man Anakin came with him in turmoil. He was like, Mace, man, I'm going through this thing. Mace didn't want to hear it. He was like, I don't give a shit about what you got to say. You're not a master. Like, I don't care what Yoda said about you being the chosen one. Because low key, now, hey, if I'm wrong, man, tell me. But low key, I feel like Mace Windu was mad that Anakin got deemed to be the chosen one. Because, I mean, Mace Windu was a powerful dude, man. Like, you saw him bossed up sitting next to Yoda. He was like, yo, even Yoda said he almost bested him. Like, you almost bested Yoda? I mean, like, come on, you a boss. And I think he had all this knowledge about the Force, and he actually had a style that kind of balanced the dark side and the light. You would think. He thought you would, I mean, if you were there, you probably thought Mace would have been, you know, the chosen one. But they were like, nah, we're going to take this guy over here. And I feel like Mace was a little salty. And, you know, he wasn't, I mean, he was the one who said, I mean, he told Qui-Gon Jinn, he's like, what? He's like, you can't train this boy. He's too old. I was like, no. See, they should have started training him right there, man. I mean, right there. But Obi-Wan obviously took over. But that's the one gripe I have with Mace Windu. And according to canon, or at least the comic I saw is coming out, apparently he didn't die. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. Which, I mean, I want him to be alive, but on the flip side, you can't just keep bringing characters alive after they clearly died, or it looked like they died, because, I mean, then if that's the case, anybody can come back alive. I mean, if you're going to bring a character back to life, you got to do it in a dope way. Like, if you're going to bring Mace Windu back, give him his own movie. Okay? Give him his own movie, or give him his own little TV show like the Clone War, the cartoon Clone Wars. That shit was fire. Fire! Weren't y'all mad when they canceled that, man? I was like, what? Y'all canceled this? But yeah, so Mace Windu, man. Duality, Vapod, purple lightsaber. I mean, how can you get any better than that? Okay, I'm geeking out with y'all, so can y'all geek out with me? You know, new YouTube channel, like, subscribe, you know, more to come. Like I said, I'm going to be talking about a lot of things, so we're going to try to keep it interesting and wavy on here. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?